Hey guys, guess this will be episode 3. Wanted to give you an update on my day so far. I went to Silver Street Market, got me a cup of coffee, a donut, and The Rock at noonday. It's a shelter that usually feeds. They end up doing an event called the Stand Down. They do it once a year. Previous years they used to do it. It used to be a 2-day event. The first day was for veterans, and then the second day was for everybody else. But they changed it this year. It was only today, and it was only for veterans. Or families of veterans. Sorry, somebody's coming, and people generally don't like to be recorded, so that tends to make people zesty. So it was for veterans and families of veterans. I ended up going. I talked to them, and since I do have family members that have served, I was able to go in. I'll show you a little bit of what I got. I did get some clothing, some jackets, and these jackets are really good because, like, even they're more well built. They're tougher, but then some of them are better when it comes to kind of like being thermal. Keep the heat in, keep the cold out. But I end up getting two military backpacks, a sleeping bag. I got the military pants, the boots. The boots are brand new. And they had my size. I'm a smaller size, so in shoes. So usually I tend to get very unlucky, but this time I got very lucky. But they end up changing it. And the thing is with the Stand Down, because I've gone to it before, not as a family member, as just anybody in the public, but like, I have mixed feelings on their change, because it is mainly for veterans and families of veterans, and those military people risk their lives or die, depending if it's from a family member for our country. So I really I definitely respect military getting priority and military family getting priority. No arguments. Never have, never will. But my one argument is them taking away the day of, for everybody, is the stuff they provide. It could help people survive. It helps so much. Like, in the past, I had a military thermal that I got, and it really, and I was camping out dead of winter. I'm in New Mexico, so when it comes to winter, we usually float generally about freezing temp. During the day it could be about 50s, depending on the day. Nights can be in the 20s, generally about 20s. Unless it's a really cold winter. There was one winter I remember, one or two of them, that we were sitting during the day in the teens, and even at night we were starting like to go and touch into the negatives. So, but with this stuff, you know, it can help people survive the winter, especially if they're camping out. Some people, it could even be possibly life or death. You know, if you have it, it can sometimes save your life. So I did do the stand down, and I got hooked up. That made me really happy. You know, I might give one of these bags to somebody I know, because I don't generally carry 2 bags around. I generally only carry 1. But we'll see. I tend to only keep what I need and then give the rest if I don't need it. So we'll see. If I end up actually needing it, I'll hold on to the second one. If I don't, then I'll give it to somebody I know. And then, you know, I came to Healthcare for the Homeless, took a nap. Because, you know, carrying the 2 bags, it was hot, you know, getting up early. Because the shelters, unless you're at West Side Shelter, West Side, if you want to leave for the day, you do have to get up early, but if you want to stay there, you don't have to. But at every other shelter I know of, you have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get out usually about 6 roughly. I've been homeless this time about 2 weeks, so I'm still kind of adjusting. I only took like maybe hour or 2 naps, so I don't, when I first became homeless, I took like 3-4 hour naps, so I'm adjusting. It just takes a little time. After my nap, I was getting kind of depressed. Like I mentioned in my last video, having relationship issues, and I do have mental disorders, and one of them is PTSD. And so, you know, I wake up, and that's usually one of the hardest times is when I wake up, because I'm still used to her being next to me. And you know, when you're in the groggy waking up thing, you're not fully aware of what's going on. And you know, I reach out for her like I would in the past, and she's now not there, you know, and it affects you, like, especially when you know, when it was when your significant other and you were best friends and talk about anything, you know, and be near each other. So, you know, it's difficult, it's lonely, so I don't want to dwell on it, but one of the things I'm going through. And then the other thing I have to be careful is because now, since I have the military backpacks, the sleeping bag, at least until I get back to the shelter, I have to take even more caution on safety, because when you have good gear like this, you tend to become a target, because, you know, not a lot of people have access to this nice of stuff. So when people see you with this, you know, you tend to become a target, because then, you know, they want it or they need it to survive. So I have to be a little bit more aware and careful, because, you know, somebody may try to jump me, attack me, and for it. And when I say attack, nowadays it's not usually like a fist fight. Nowadays it's like, you know, people pulling knives or guns. So it could be not just, you know, they're just wanting to take your shit. It could possibly turn into, you know, them taking your shit and your stuff and taking your life also. So I'm going to probably, because it's probably about 4:30. Most shelters do pick up about 6. So I'm debating what to do. I may just go to the pickup and wait for it or what, but oh, and then I had lunch at the stand down too, so that was nice. I'm not sure if there will be an episode tomorrow. We will see. I'm gonna try to do an episode every day on my days off, which I have 3 days off currently. I work 4 days. Why it might be difficult to do an episode on my work days is because pretty much literally I have to get up, get out of the shelter. By the time I get out of the shelter, if I'm lucky, I might have 30 minutes, an hour to, kind of do whatever, which is usually the time I try to get coffee. If I'm able to, granted most places aren't open, but if I'm able to, a bite to eat, or I sit down and grab some of my snacks I usually carry around and eat, and then I have to then go to work, and then after work I have to rush back down here, and then I have to catch the transport to the shelter. So literally my day is get up, get out of shelter, try to get coffee and a bite to, eat something, then get on the city bus, because I take the buses. They're free where I'm at, so at least till the end of the year. But take the bus all the way to work all day, then take the bus all the way back. Mind you, my bus rides are about 45 minutes each way. And then once I get back down here, then I have to get to the transport spot. The only way that would be different is if I decide to grab my bike and do that, but there's pros and cons, then I have to hassle it, make sure it's safe at work, that kind of thing. But if I don't take my bike, then I have to get to the transport spot, then take the transport to the shelter, and then I hang out there until, pretty much I decide to go to bed, and then rinse and repeat. I probably, I'm not allowed to videotape in the shelter. I believe in my first video I stated, I'm not sure, but the shelters don't like you to, or you're not allowed to videotape, because it's kind of like HIPAA. It's for the privacy of the other homeless people. So if I videotape in the shelter, I can lose my bed, and then I'm literally sleeping on the streets. But where I'm at right now is healthcare for the homeless. This is probably the best I can kind of do, because they don't normally like you recording, but I'm on the sidewalk. It's technically after hours because they close at 4, so there's not really anybody here, so they're they don't mind as much, and they're not gonna really say anything, but yeah, most of the food places, all that, I would have videotaped the actual stand down, but the noonday staff and Vic for the veterans told me they didn't want me to, because of privacy reasons for individuals, which I want to show that respect, especially since they're really trying to help the veterans and families of veterans. So I just complied. And then, to give you a little bit of information involving HCH, HCH provides health care, doctors, dentists. There's an art street, so if you want to do arts and craft, you can do that. Then there's a resource center. They have some resources, showers, the restroom, that kind of thing. If they don't have the resources, generally they try to connect you to the resources. But yeah. So today's been a very happy but also to a degree depressing day. So depressing, lonely day. Now, like, if you guys want to see anything, if you guys want to, or specifically see anything, know about anything, you got questions, concerns, so on and so forth, I'm more than willing to answer them, or show if I have the ability to do that within, you know, companies' policies and all that. But I'm probably going to also try to make a Facebook page, so that way, like, if I can't videotape something, but if I'm able to, like, maybe take a picture, then I can post it on there. It'll be more than likely called The Wandering Path on Facebook. I will see about trying to get that done either today or tomorrow. But yeah. So, stand down's a kind of a positive thing out here. It was more positive in the past because everybody was able to partake. You know, veterans get priority. They would get first pick on things, and then after that, everybody else would get what was left over. But they changed it this year, so. So I guess that's it. I'm gonna have to go and pick up, you know, wait at the transport, get transported to the shelter, and then deal with reorganizing all my stuff there, since I got more stuff. But yeah, and then probably go to bed and go to work tomorrow. So I guess I will talk to you guys soon, and I will, if nothing else, if I have time, I will try to do an episode through my work days. If I am unable to, then I will do it on Tuesday, because that's at the moment the next day I have off. So if worse comes to worse, I'll talk to you then. Until then.